Morphin Legacy presents The Grid.
Howdy, Ranger Nation. This is Shadowy22, Vice President of MorphinLegacy.com, welcoming you to another grid ranking, where we'll be ranking our top 5 best and worst suit designs. Joining me in this grid ranking is Austin.
Hi.
And Amber.
Hi.
So how this will work is that we each take a turn and reveal our picks in descending order, and repeat until all our picks are revealed. We'll talk about our top 5 best picks, and then move on to our top 5 worst. So let's start with my 5th best suit design, which is the Ninja Storm Rangers, aka the Wind Rangers, the Thunder Rangers, and the Green Samurai Rangers.
Ready? Wind Storm! Thunderstorm! Samurai Storm! Ranger Form! Ha!
Alright, so let's talk about why these suits look good. So these suits, in my opinion, are probably the best ninja-themed ranger suits. I like how the chest logo is unique with each one and reflects each ranger's elements. The air, the earth, the water, the thunder for both of them. And samurai, I guess that's an element.
I mean, so is a beetle, I guess.
I like the gray fishnet X arms and legs on the Wind Rangers.
Mary, that's chainmail or whatever.
It's not really chainmail either. It's just some kind of netting that kind of characteristic of a caricature of a ninja.
I didn't know the word, so I just said fishnets. I also like how unique this season's color roster is. We have red, blue, and yellow. We also have 2 reds, 2 blues, and we have the green and the gold shield.
That was the first trio we got in America, wasn't it?
In America, yes.
Because there were some pre-Jew ones that were some trios.
Those were really popular there for a bit. They'd alternate between 3 stack and 5 stack there for a bit.
I like the black spandex on the legs of the Thunder Rangers and the shoulder pad realness.
It does a really good job of setting them apart, but they still feel they're kind of a part of the group, but it makes them just a little bit different.
It is cool how they're obviously different sectors. You see how they're broken up into their own groups, but they do still look like a team.
They're both elemental ninjas, but they're also from different ninja schools. Similar, but different, which is why we were able to have 2 blues and 2 reds on the team. Alright, on to my negative nugget. I guess having a samurai-themed ranger in a season of ninjas is weird. I'm not sure why they had a samurai in the season.
Yeah, sometimes you're just kind of trying to dig for a negative when there's not really anything that stands out as a true negative, especially the suit design.
Yeah, I mean, there's some that have some negative nuggets, but ninjas, not really.
I feel like they did a good job explaining it, though, for Power Rangers anyway.
Story-wise, it worked.
Ninjas and samurais did work together, though, in feudal times.
So for my suit spotlight, I'm going to give it to the Blue Wind Ranger, because I got to give props to our first ever female Blue Ranger. I also like how that suits add on fishnets or whatever, chainmail, how they add to the spandex below the skirt. Makes the female suit look more unique.
And Tori's an icon. Can we get there, please?
And lastly, does the suit design reflect the theme of the season? Yes, because it's a ninja themed season with ninjas themed suits. So yes, it does.
I should fucking hope so.
Alrighty, so Austin, what is your number 5 pick for best?
Okay, I'm gonna be controversial but brave. Super Mega Force.
I mean, is it really controversial that it's on a best list, though?
It's controversial because Super Mega Force is a shitty season, but it has a great suit.
Yeah, we're not taking the seasons into account. It's just purely show.
Yeah, we're picking on suit designs, and suit design doesn't really mesh with quality of the season. It's the quality of the suit, not the quality of the season.
Yeah, so it's not really a surprise that it's on your best list, because it's a very good-looking set of suits.
For the good, I love all the gold trim. I love the big collars. The belt buckles that flip with their keys. The pirate hat helmets, iconic.
I think these helmets tested out the let's be a hat, but also a helmet waters, so that way the gold helmet in a ninja could run. I'm just saying.
I also like that the top halves of the suits were pirate jackets because they go under the belt buckles. That's really cool. Only negative nugget I could think of for these suits is that Gokaiger was adapted into Super Mega Force. I have nothing bad to say about these suits. They're just...
We wasted a really good pirate motif on some bland bullshit.
Harry Styles could never.
I knew you were going to fit that somewhere.
Does the suit design reflect the theme? No! Because the suits are pirates and there's no theme in Super Mega Force.
They never acknowledge that fact, and I fucking hate it.
Of every season of Power Rangers, I feel like it was this season that missed the assignment.
Yeah.
This would have been so easy. This was handed to you. There's no, well, maybe they mean this. No, they very clearly mean pirates. There's a pirate ship in the fucking show, my dude.
The main Zord is a pirate suit. They use pirate weapons. They use pirate guns. Their blaster is a giant pirate ship cannon. The Silver Ranger wears a bandana.
Yeah. Mess.
Alrighty, Amber. So what is your number 5 pick for best suits?
My number 5 is Zeo.
It's Morphin time!
I feel like everything really works nice together. There's not too much white. The gold is really well balanced with it. The colors kind of balance each other out with. There's just enough of everything that it kind of offsets it, because this kind of also leads into a negative nugget, which is outside of the gold embellishments, there's just a lot of flat color on the helmets, on everything. But without that little bit of gold in there, I feel like it would have went really south really fast.
But that's what I like about it, because they're so simplistic, but then the gold just adds that little flair.
Yeah, that's exactly it. If it wouldn't have had that, these would have been really boring.
True.
Because the helmets still are kind of probably the worst part of the suit, only because around the mouth areas.
You don't like the helmets?
No, I love the helmets. It's around the mouth areas, especially trying to draw the helmets.
The lips are kind of weird.
Because they're the same color as the helmet itself.
It's a little odd. It could have worked really well if there was no mouth area, but you know, it is what it is. It's not bad.
If instead of lips it had one of those U-shaped things or something.
Yeah, just some straight, not trying to be a weird mouthpiece. That's really nitpicky, because honestly, the suit is really clean. The design is really straightforward, but still kind of also bleeding into the, does it fit the assignment? It does, kind of, because you know, it feels you as kind of like a higher power. So these suits kind of feel a little bit higher powery.
Mary, Zeo's theme is high school.
Yeah, but I mean the power set theme.
When we put on the list that does the suits match the theme, I mean the themes of the season.
Does any of these early seasons really do?
No, it doesn't.
It matched Show Ranger.
In Space was the first to have the suit match the theme of the season.
If you think about the power sets in a way, because powers are based on that crystal.
Yeah, the powers, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I go with it. That works for me, and that it still makes sense in that respect. But still, they're clean suits. And even though Tommy's the red one, I think the red is still my favorite. Even though my spotlight is obviously the Gold Ranger, because gold.
That is a gorgeous suit.
First Gold Ranger. We have to make sure that that is very well known. Even though in O Ranger, that is not a Gold Ranger at all.
Yeah, we don't get a Gold Ranger until what? Gawanger?
Something like that, yeah. But in Power Rangers, first Gold Ranger. But yeah, that's all I got.
Alrighty, so on to my number 4 pick. My number 4 pick for best is the Dino Thunder Ranger suits.
Ready! 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 Dino Thunder! Power up! Ha! Wind Ranger! Dino Power!
For a season that is a new spin to MMPR, these suits feel like a new spin to the MMPR suit, because it's very reminiscent of those MMPR suits in a way, because some of the dinosaurs they use are in MMPR, so it's a good mesh of old to new, unintentionally, because Abba Ranger has nothing to do with Jew Ranger. Also, each helmet feels unique, where dinosaur themed seasons in the future use more of a uniform design. As much as I love the Dino Charge and the Dino Fury Ranger helmets, those helmets kind of seem more uniform.
Dino Charge? No. I disagree. For Dino Fury, I would agree with Dino Fury.
Yeah, Dino Fury maybe, but Dino Charge, no. All those helmets are very clearly representative of the dinosaur.
And when I'm talking about, I mean the visor area.
The visors are so different.
They might have a similar size opening because you need to have a similar size for them to be able to see out of. But I feel like the top half is where it's really different, but the bottom half gives it that uniform that makes them all fit together, I think. And I like that. I like when they feel like they are a team, but still have that flair of different.
Alright, we're not talking about dinosaurs. Let's get back to Dino Thunder. The spike designs on the sleeves, legs, and gloves are really cool and unique, especially when they go into Super Dino mode, where they grow spikes, and Kira grows wings, because she can fly. But my negative nugget is those wings kind of look cheap. As much as I love them, they kind of look cheap. All right, onto the suit spotlight. My suit spotlight for Dino Thunder is the White Dino Ranger. This is straight up one of my favorite suits in the show, period. I like the mix of the black and white, and the helmet is one of my all-time favorites, which kind of pissed me off that the Lightning Collection at first had that shitty one without the black trimming on the visor. It's just the red. How the fuck did that go through? And lastly, does the Dino Thunder suits fit the theme of the season? Kind of, but no, because again, high school. They're dinosaurs, yeah, but the story is mostly about high school shenanigans.
There's dino stuff in there.
Yeah, like Tommy is an archaeologist.
He is a paleontologist.
With that kind of thing, it's kind of hard to be like, yes, this season is about dinosaurs specifically, because none of the dinosaur theme seasons are that way.
Dino Charge? It's in a dinosaur museum.
That's just a backdrop. You could give the same thing to Tommy being an archaeologist, and then that's where they found the gem.
That's why I said yes and no. Yes, as in the themes of the suits and the powers, yes. But the story, no, not really. Okay, Austin, what is your number 4 pick for best suits?
My number 4 pick is Samurai.
Samurizers! Go Samurai!
Those suits are gorge.
I will admit those suits are very pretty.
I love that the visors are the kanji symbols for their retrospective element.
You mean the symbol power? They never use the term kanji once in Samurai.
We know what it is. Kids probably know what it is. I also like that they have their samurizers in a little holster.
The thing about the Samurizers I hate is that it's a little stupid LED light, when in Shinkenger it was an actual brush.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like anything that could be a positive for Samurai is negative when compared to the Shinkenger.
Negative nugget, I put that the mega modes are unnecessary.
And fugly. That's why it's not even on my list.
The fucking silver mouse on them are fucking gross.
If your season has a mega mode that I see almost more than the regular suit, I can't.
The mega modes were inspired by the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie suit.
They're fugly as shit. I don't even care.
I do like the gold mega mode.
But for some reason he turns from blue to black.
I do have that figure, but that's only because it's a Gold Ranger.
And it's Antonio.
That's the only Samurai bullshit I have. It's just Gold Ranger stuff.
Suit Spotlight, I put Shogun mode because, don't at me, those are gorge. Those are stunning. Stunt queen.
That is a very pretty battleizer.
Also, everyone on the team got one, even though they didn't use all of them.
Only Mia, Kevin, and Jaden used them. And Jaden was the only one that used it outside the cockpit.
You don't like Shogun mode?
I don't like anything that Saban created for this season. The Shinkenger stuff was great. It was beautiful. I loved it. But if they created it for Power Rangers, I mean, to be fair, though, they couldn't even make up their own scripts for this season. So,
But they got their own designs.
Yeah, they had time to make their own designs for suits, but they didn't have time to write scripts that were in Google Translate.
I'm sorry. It has such American sensibilities, and we all know Americans can't design live action superhero suits that look good, really. They always have to look like some kind of weird battle armor. I'm like, just lean into the spandex, my dude. We draw them in spandex, just lean into the spandex.
The audacity of this conversation, honestly.
I've got opinions, and they're kind of spicy, and we all know that.
I don't know, Super Sentai is starting to make battleizers, so they joined the train.
That is some shitty American influence right there.
Does the suit design reflect the theme? Yes. They're samurais.
They're samurais in a samurai season named Samurai. You can't get more themes oriented than that.
With a white samurai. I haven't seen more authentic martial artists since Beverly Hills Ninja with Chris Farley.
Okay, Amber, what is your number 4 pick for best?
My number 4 is Jungle Fury.
Ha! Ready! Jungle Beast! Fury unleashed!
It's not really that controversial, but my good stuff about it, actually, when I first saw these suits with Geki Ranger, because obviously I watched Geki Ranger first because I'm that person, I actually didn't like this at first. And it was the fact that they don't have any belt, not including Rhino. And I hated it. I thought it was fucking ugly. Now I vibe with it. I was like, this is really clean. I changed my mind after I started watching it, saw the suits in motion, and I was like, no, these actually look really nice and it's something fresh.
I think it looks better when they go into Jungle Master mode.
Jungle Master mode is fine. fine, but I feel like they're still clean. The three main ones, they feel really cohesive. They're majority their main color. They still feel kind of the cat they're representing. Feel very martial artsy. The shoes are very martial art.
Oh, I fucking hate the shoes.
But I understand why. They're like shoes you would wear on the mat if you were doing a martial art where you had to wear shoes, though. That doesn't bother me. They feel very much like the martial art. I don't necessarily think Jungle Fury leaned into that martial arts influence on each suit, whereas Violet was like Muay Thai. RJ didn't really do Muay Thai.
RJ was a fucking stoner dude. He wasn't doing kickboxing.
Whereas like a Geki Ranger, that character was a Muay Thai fighter. He fought that style. But you know, negatives. I mean, I don't really have any negatives really.
Those shoes are just, they're like strap-ons, Mary.
They don't bother me because they're all match the same color. So a lot of times I don't notice them because they blend in. You know, when you're moving around that fast and you don't show the feet, I don't notice the shoes. My negative is just that because we didn't get to see the characters actually use more specific fighting styles. Even with Rhino, he didn't fight the way that Chopper did and use judo-y kind of moves because that's what the theme of that suit's supposed to be, is judo. So I do think it kind of misses the assignment like that because I do feel like these outfits are very animal martial arts, which it was kind of animal martial arts, but it wasn't the same because the show used a generic martial art as opposed to different fighting styles in the suits. And then I think my suit spotlight is Rhino because that's my favorite because I'm biased because I like Geki Chopper. I think that one is just such a fun suit and the horn on the helmet. I love it. Right. I love the orange piping. I love with the black. Mwah.
I do like the white and orange.
It looks good. It's clean.
And it has a belt.
Okay, on to my number 3 best. My number 3 best is the Super Mega Force range of suits. Alrighty, so let's look at my list and see what Austin didn't say already.
I said it all.
I put the pirate-shaped helmet. I like the pirate symbol on the helmet in the middle, even though that wasn't really acknowledged as anything. I like how the suit itself is black spandex with a colored jacket with gold trim and a popped collar with a symbol in the middle. The gloves and the boots having the silver touches at the end is a cool feature. I like silver, in case you never noticed.
Wow! Silver, right? You never talk about it.
Alright, on to my negative nuggets. These suits are pirate from top to bottom. The fact that it is never mentioned in the show itself frustrates me. I freaking hate when seasons ignore the obvious themes of the suits and don't incorporate the theme within the story. Ugh.
She has feelings.
Ray, how do you really feel about that, though? What's your honest feelings?
I hate it! I'm like Baby Grinch. I hate it!
I hate Christmas. I hate it.
Alright, on to Suit Spotlight. Shock of all shocks. It's the silver one.
Gag of the century.
I like how the suit matches the pirate themes of the other 5, which is ignored, but gives the suit its own personality by having a helmet that has a bandana.
He's a swabby.
And I like the little sunglasses too. It's kind of foreshadowing for the next Sentai in that order anyway, Go Buster, because they all have visors that are like sunglasses.
Was that intentional?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't think it was.
Also, the metallicness of the silver really pops in the US and Sentai footage, which I really can't say about the next season's Gold Ranger.
I don't want to hear it from you, bitch.
The Gold Ranger's slander.
I'm sorry, but okay, we'll get to this later.
Oh, we will.
Does the suit design reflect a theme? To quote Miss Jackie, hell no.
Hell no.
Hell to the no, no, no.
Alrighty, Austin, what is your number 3 choice for best?
My number 3 choice is ZOO. So good. I put the helmets because I think they're very chic. They're so cute.
Those shapes, man. Iconic to house boots.
I do like the gold embellishments like we talked about in Amber's little moment. Because, you know, they got the little gold shield. It's cute. Don't they have some gold on the arms, too?
They have gold in a couple places.
Love.
In the boots, too, I think.
I believe the belts are also gold.
I do like the double holsters. I think that's fun. Because usually it's only one.
It's because one side is a gun and the other side is a sword.
Love. Who thinks of that?
It's just a really well-designed season. Some of these early 90s Sentai just had really clean design.
They knew their audience.
There's just something about them. They hit different.
Negative nugget. What the fuck is Zero Ranger 2's helmet?
Good question.
Someone has to say it.
It's like equal sign.
An equal sign?
It's an equal sign because Tanya is here for equal rights.
Tanya said gay rights.
When you watch O-Ranger, each one of their Zords is based on a different culture monument. So pink is based on the Moai Easter Island statues. And I don't remember what yellow is based on, but that's what that Zord is also supposed to represent, is this monument thing.
Stonehenge.
Yeah, they all mean different things, and so it's a little bit better explained, not that greatly explained.
I mean, it's hard to think of a two-sided shape, so I guess they were like, okay, just do little things.
They weren't numbered in Ranger, they were just their colors. So Zio was the one who gave them numbers, which corresponds to the number of shapes or corners that each of those
It
have.
is cool. Suit Spotlight. I'm not saying Gold Ranger because I'm not a heterosexual. I put Cat because I'm gay.
You like the neon pink?
I do love how the colors pop.
They're very saturated.
Yeah, we usually don't get that shaded pink for Pink Rangers. That's how you know it's in the 90s if it's neon.
Even on potato footage, it looks really good.
And we already talked about the themes. So yeah.
Alrighty, Amber, what is your number 3 pick for best suits?
My number 3 is Mystic Force.
Magic Source! Mystic Force!
I love capes. That's my number 1, capes. I think those capes look really cool. There's not too many other seasons that could do a cape on the whole team, just because it works with the magic theme. Unless they do another magic season based on magicians. But I love the helmets. Those helmet designs, super clean. I love the way they're designed. I love the lines on the outfit, the gold and black. Mwah. My big negative nugget is that I actually don't really care for the white on the legs of pink and blue.
Yeah, okay.
And this is a little bit of trend with me in suits. I don't really like a lot of white on suits. I think it looks really terrible.
I have word.
Wait until you get my bottoms. You'll understand. But at least with these two, it's at least uniform and they have the same amount of white. I think it would look better if they had black on their legs or even their color.
Yeah, black or gray seems to work better when you want to add a color to a suit.
If they're going to have it, I want the two that have the white to have the same amount. And I'll go into this later with some other suits. I like it to be equal if it's going to be there, but I usually don't care for very much. And then my suit spotlight is White Mystic Ranger because I really love the armor, the snow. I wish it was a little bit more jazzy, but I think it's really nice for who the character's for.
It's the regalness of Udana.
It's like a mother type character, so like it works. I love it. I love the snowflake on the helmet. It's really the best part of the whole thing is the helmet.
I like shoulder pads.
I do hate that they changed from fairy to sprite, but left Garuda in.
Yeah, because people know what Garudas are, right?
It says on the fucking circle of fairy that you see on the screen. Anyway, that's my biggest nitpick there.
Alrighty, so on to my number 2 best suit. This might be a gag, but it's the Space Ranger suits.
Alright, let's rock it!
Number 2.
Number 1 might be obvious, no, but number 2 is Space Rangers. Yeah, alright, so I love everything about these suits. They're simple in design, but honestly, less is more when it comes to some suit designs. You don't have to have a million bells and whistles to make a great suit design. And this is a good example of that. I love how the space season with Space Rangers have suits that are space themed.
Are you talking about the computer objects that appear on the top of the helmet?
They're satellites, okay? That's space.
How are they space themed, sweaty?
They look space themed. They ride gliders in space. Leave me alone.
Those aren't the suits, though.
They look space-ish.
The suits could be construed as spacey.
They drive around in space vehicles.
Not their arsenal or anything. Their suits. I don't know.
I mean, it could read either way.
That's a yes or no.
I feel like they look spacey.
That's because you're biased. These suits are coming from a video game season.
They made it work.
They did. This is where it's like, does the suit reflect the theme? That's controversial. Because it can, but it also can at the same time.
If you squint.
It's not like they made an animal nature theme season and made it a space season like Lost Galaxy.
I mean, people like to put digital and space stuff together.
Yeah, it's digital, so that works for space for me, in my opinion.
I mean, I'm just challenging Ray to fucking twist his feathers. But I will say, the suits are like minimalistic enough to where it's like they could have really gone with any theme.
But I'll allow it.
But speaking of the helmets, I do like how they light up, and each helmet has a specific technological device that gives each ranger a special ability.
Pink Ranger's a cell phone.
I love the visors and the mouth guards. Love the belts. Love how flashy it is. And I love the gloves and boots are just basic white. Clean.
I love how the gloves fit Ashley's acrylic nails.
Yeah, and it doesn't stain either. That must be some good paint. If I have to say something, not a big fan of the chest designs. The bar with all the colors, that's really not something I 100% love or find necessary.
I love that. It's so cute.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it. If I had to find something...
I'll give you something. In Space isn't on my list, so I'll post my thoughts here. The yellow collar on the Yellow Ranger suit.
That's exactly what I was going to say. And that happens from time to time where even Jetman has it, but Jetman did a really good workaround. Basically, anytime there's a Yellow Ranger and there's a big yellow color theme that goes through everybody's suits, it looks really bad on the Yellow Ranger. In Jetman, what they did is they actually, instead of using the yellow piping, they used black piping. It does set off the yellow suit a little bit differently, but I think it works.
I do like for the Lightning figure that they made that color gold.
Yeah, because I'm looking at mine right now and I'm just like,
Is it gold in the Sentai?
No, it's yellow.
I'm looking at the Andros and it's yellow, and then I'm looking at Ashley and they painted it golden light.
Oh yeah, I remember people were bitching that it was gold because it wasn't accurate.
Oh, shut up. Shut the fuck up.
It shows up. I don't like it when yellow suits have yellow detailing like that. It's the same thing with anything that has that same detailing of the same character.
It's not shape.
Like having black detailing and have a black ranger on the season.
Yeah, that's the reason, like, if there's any smoke or anything like that, a lot of times it's like a purple kind of smoke.
Honestly, that's the reason why Dino Charge doesn't have a Yellow Ranger, because that chest thing is yellow.
That would have been really tough unless they did something different with the yellow, and I don't think they could have.
Back to my negative nugget.
Back to me.
Back to me. This is my number 2, bitch. Back to the whole bar thing. I don't love it on the main 5, but I do like it on Silver Suit because it's like that cybernetic design and it's more uniform.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was designing the Grid Ranger themes, I actually stole that whole kitsch where like you have the different color blockings.
Oh, I knew it, Mary.
But I just made mine alternate. Whoever was wearing their color star was in the center, and then everybody else is alternate in different patterns.
Oh, speaking of our Grid Ranger designs, Amber is currently working on upgrading ours, so look out for that soon.
Oh yeah, boy!
We're gonna look hot. I can only look hot in fan art.
I just make us all look good. That's my goal, is to make us all look beautiful, amazing, and perfect, like with Evangelista.
Alrighty, but speaking of the Silver Space Ranger, my suit spotlight is the Silver Space Ranger.
What?
Oh my god, no.
I know, right? Such a shock coming from me. But he's the first Silver Ranger. How can I not give props to the suits? This is the suit that made me fall in love with Silver Rangers. But I will say that the metallic-iness of the suit is kind of lacking in the original footage compared to the metallicness in the Sentai footage.
That's when we get potato fabric.
Yeah.
I think we need to spend a little bit more budget on going and sourcing better material. Come on, just order it from Japan.
Miss Hasbro spent $500 million just buying the franchise. Y'all can't shell out some more money to get that nice fabric?
It doesn't cost that much. You could probably get some really nice shiny shit from Joann's, my dude.
They did for Beast Morphers.
They recreated all the monster suits. I will give them that.
I mean, they were gonna have to. Those things were basically dust by now.
I mean, it was 2012.
Honey, those suits start falling apart mid-Sentai shooting.
Fucking Dino Charge had monster suits with duct tape.
It was falling apart, though, in Kyoryuger. They're not made to last. I feel like maybe that might be something Sentai needs to think about.
Alrighty, so lastly, does the suit designs reflect the theme? Yes, space suits for a space season. Done.
If you squint.
Yeah. If I don't have my glasses on, yes.
Alrighty, number 2, Austin. What is your number 2 pick for best?
My number 2 is Taste. And it's probably your number 1, so you can chime in here. Dino Charge.
It's Morphin time! Dino Charger! Ready! Dino Chargers! Engage! Energize! Unleash the power!
The helmets are stylized after the Ranger's dinosaur. Cute. The chest reflecting the season symbol. So it's like the Dino Charge symbol is stylized on their chest. So the shoulder pad is the eye of it, and then the stripes are the teeth. I love the patch of their dinosaur on their chest. The belt buckle piece that holds their Dino Chargers. That is fashion. These suits are just so fun, and for how many times we get dinosaurs in this show, it still somehow feels refreshing.
Every time they do dinosaurs, they do something different.
Not for Dino Fury, but...
I mean, Dino Fury does too. It has all that metallic.
Mary, those are the Kid Ranger shoots.
They added night theming to the suits. It's different.
I feel like every time they do dinosaurs, they try to make it a little bit different.
Also, the Morphin Masters made both suits.
But also, the thing is, though, too, is it's easy to be super different. Like, for example, Dino Thunder, because there's only 3 to start with, where these other 2 seasons start with at least a 5 stack. There's only so much you can do, because then also you have to worry about colors. Because there's only so many colors you really can do realistically as Rangers.
Negative nugget, girl, there are so many same colors. We got a gray, we got a silver.
Graphite!
You know what? It's gray. It's fucking gray. It's like y'all couldn't use different colors.
Yeah, there's 3 blues and purple.
Give me vermilion so I can have the fart one be a ranger.
I think they were more thinking about the Zord colors rather than having Ranger colors. Since for the most part, a lot of the extra Zords show up more than the extra Rangers do. Like fucking James Navarro's out in the woods looking for Sledge's ship for most of season 2.
Kyurager was the first season to have a bajillion rangers. That makes sense.
Yeah, Kyurager walked so Kyuranger can run.
Suit spotlight, gold. Period. In Sentai footage. It looks like poop in the original footage.
Well, I do like the wings.
The wings are gorge.
And the shoulder pad realness.
Does the suit design reflect the theme? Duh! It's dinosaurs.
Dino Charge is the most dinosaur season ever. Dinosaur.
In a dinosaur museum with my name on it.
Yeah, Amber's Beach. Amber Beach!
Amber bitch.
It's Amber, bitch!
Alrighty, so Amber, what is your number 2 for best?
My number 2 is Dino Thunder. We talked about it before, but I think my stuff is still a little bit different. Obviously, the stuff that's really good about it. Just the fact that they're really clean, the style's really good. I love the Mega Mode, you know, where the spikes.
Super Dynamo.
Yeah, I think the gold accents are not too much. They're just right. You know, the suits are really cohesive. They look like a team. They fit together. They all look like they were designed by the same person is really what I'm going with. Let's see my negatives. The fact that Tommy was in the season. And if I had to nitpick, I think Yellow's helmet might need a little bit more in terms of accents to stand out. Because looking at them far away, I see that they all have white around the border. But with Yellow, sometimes the white blends in. So maybe just the barest hint of black around that white line might have helped it. But that's being really nitpicky. I still think the helmet's a really good design. It's just if I had to lay out some stuff.
It was hard for me to pick out a negative because I said the wings look cheap.
And then also my suit spotlight is white. That suit's just too fucking clean.
It is so good.
It looks like a villain. I love everything about it. It's good stuff.
Okay, so on to number 1. My number 1 is Dino Charge. I like that the season decided to do a suit for every single Zord, giving us 10 Rangers for the first time ever. I like the scaly little arms, and I like that the Black Ranger arms are gray.
But you like that Ninja Storm armor. That's a similar concept. And I think it looks really great because it's more color breakup. Because sometimes it's too much of one color and it starts looking a little samey.
I do like how it's like a darker color.
I like it mixed up. Some seasons that totally works if there's a lot of their main color on there. And then sometimes it's just nice to have a little bit of breakout.
I like when stuff are simple, but I also like things where it's a little more stylized. I like how all the helmets have special little features on it. The Blue Ranger's little spike mohawk onto my negative nuggets. The colors, making 3 Blue Rangers and 2 silver colored Rangers. Come on now.
Even Kyoruger made a joke about it in the 100 Years After movie.
The gender ratio is out of whack. We have 2 female Rangers out of 10. What the fuck?
What is that about?
And even then, Koichi had to fight for female purple. They were gonna keep old guy as the purple for Kyoruger.
And even with Power Rangers, we could have used Tyler's mom. And she could have been the Cyan Ranger. And it would have been better than James fucking Navarro.
Or made Kaylee the Aqua Ranger at the end.
That too! I feel like that suit was already made. If you're just gonna do that, or if you're gonna remake a suit, it'd be just as easy to remake it as one of the quote-unquote female suits.
Dino Fury made a suit with a fucking skirt on it.
And ripped it the fuck off.
They never give a reason for the chest of aqua and graphite being a different color. There's an explanation for that in Kyoruger, but there's no real reason why their little thingy is bronze. It's because the dead in Kyoruger, but James Navarro and Prince Villain aren't dead. Alrighty, so on to suit spotlights. The purple one, because of course it's Kendall. I am a stan. And first female Purple Ranger. And I like that we saw 2 versions of the suit. Does the suit reflect the theme? Yes. Dino, Dino, Dino! Alrighty, Austin, what is your number 1 favorite suit design?
I don't know, guys. What is my number 1 suit design? Shock of all shocks? It's Time Force!
Time for
Good. The colored visors live. The symbols on their chest that match their visors. Cute. I love the thick wrist cuffs that are like velcroed around their wrists and that have a chronomorpher. Fashion. And I just love the simplicity of the suits because they don't have no holsters or anything. They're just clean and just negative nugget. The 6th Ranger is also red. Also, this is actually controversial but brave. I hate Eric. I hate the Quantum Ranger. Period. A suit spotlight. I just don't know.
I wonder who.
I wonder.
I hate how predictable I am sometimes.
That's why I made space too, because I didn't want to be that predictable.
My suit spotlight is pink because it's Jen, honey.
She's the champion of love and justice. That's why her little symbol's a heart.
And then does the suit design reflect theme? Yes. It's future. It's future.
In either prompt, it doesn't real. I mean, it's kind of like,
It's future!
sure.
It's future.
You wave your hand, you're like, sure.
The helmets light up with effects. It's future.
Future!
Future!
Alrighty, Amber, what is your number one choice?
All right, gang. I'm going to be super controversial yet brave. It's Dino Charge.
How was that controversial, but brave? That was my pick.
I know, but I had a feeling a lot of people would assume that I pick Alien.
Alien Rangers aren't in your top 5?
The reason why is my favorite is the white one. The other ones, white and black are the best two suits of that whole bit. The other three, I'm not super in love with, so that's why they didn't make either of it.
Wow.
And that's a whole other conversation.
I'm just gooped. Wow. Okay.
I know, I was like, I want to be a little different, but also Dino Charge is very on brand for me as well.
I mean, it's on brand for all of us.
Because I mean, ever since Kyoryuger came out, I've been horny for these suits. Like, I love
This is a Dino Charge Stand podcast first.
You would expect they, at the very least, are top twos. We've talked about it a lot. I love the suits. I love everything about them. I love the use of the yellow and the silver and the graphics on the chests. That really kind of makes them very cohesive. It brings them together while still being different colors. The helmets are fucking great. The negative nuggets are kind of related. I don't think that silver works very well on... Because, I mean, with silver and gray, there's some silver on it and there's some gold on it. It doesn't work with those two. It's always tricky when you're doing a metallic color.
There's a lot of silver accents already on the suit, so that makes it hard.
And you have to do a lot of work to differentiate. And I don't think with those two suits, they were able to do that very well. I do think the silver is better than... The silver looks really good. They look really good still, but I feel like they maybe needed to go back into the workshop and get a little bit more working over a little bit more.
As much as I love silver, we didn't need two of them.
I think they did it for a joke. Because remember, Death Reuser was supposed to be a movie only thing, and then they brought it for the end of the series. And then Cyan, yeah, that one, I think they probably should have picked other colors first. That would have been our time to get an orange one and not have to wait for TOEI to get an orangey colored Ranger.
Shit, we still don't have an Orange Ranger in the show.
That would have been really cool. That's like negative. It's really hard to find a negative with pretty good suit designs. And then obviously the suit spotlight is 100% gold. He's the best. He's the most. I love him. And his little wings.
In SENTAI footage.
Yeah, when they don't use the potato color. Still, even with the potato coloring, just the design itself still is a good design. It's just, it's not metallic. It's not really gold. It's like beige. That's basically it. We've talked about Dino Charge at length, and it's the same stuff.
Alrighty, so those are our top 5 picks. We'll take a quick commercial break and be back with our top 5 worst suit designs.
Greetings, this is Davi Santos, also known as Sir Ivan of Xandar from Power Rangers Dino Charge, and you're listening to The Grid. For those of you who don't know, The Grid is a Power Rangers universe of a podcast available on all the different platforms. It covers basically every subject from the graphic novels to the episodes. You and the team are so passionate, it only makes sense that Power Rangers fans know about this and that they can enjoy it. Dino Charger ready!
Alrighty, and we're back with our worst. Alright, so my number 5 pick for worst are the 2017 movie suits.
It's Morphin time.
This is gonna get some people mad, but let's dive in. So, for a movie based on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, these suits don't really reflect that aesthetic. And I am shocked for one, considering how SABAN was with how they portrayed Power Rangers at this time. It was Mighty Morphin everything, except for these suits. Let's change them as much as possible.
Even the show at the time, Ninja Steel, was just like, Mighty Morphin!
Yeah, let's recapture your childhood with this crappy season.
But the movie didn't do that. The one area where they actually should have done something like that, they did not.
Yeah, the shows, the comics do Mighty Morphin, but the movie, no, don't even call it Mighty Morphin, just call it Power Rangers. Rangers. Yeah, so the helmets don't look anything like the animal they're supposed to be based on. Freaking yellow and pink almost have the exact same helmet design. I don't like those weird metallic abs.
They're very alien.
I mean, they come from space, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but still.
Oh god, those glow-up spines too.
I mean, they're fine for what they are, but I didn't really ever really love them. I was like, well, that's what we got, so.
The chest diamonds are too small, especially in the women where it's just on their boobs. That must hurt.
It's a little weird. The movie was fine, but these suits were never something oh yes, I love these.
Yeah, I like the movie, but the suits, no. Except for my positive potato, which is the green one. I like the green one, mostly because it was just a fallen apart version for most of the movie, and it's Rita. Really like the staff too. It's made of gold in someone's jaw. That is fashion. Onto the suit spotlight, which is the Yellow Ranger. Her helmet has no shades of saber-toothed tiger. None of them really reflect your dinosaurs, but this one is kind of the worst at doing that because there is nothing that screams saber-toothed tiger about this helmet. And lastly, does the suit design reflect the theme? No. Alrighty, so Austin, what is your number 5 worst suit?
My number 5 worst is awkward. It's Jungle Fury.
It's not really that awkward. You like what you like.
I didn't fuck with the no belt. No. The shoes? Literally, what are those?
What are those?
Yellow just looks awkward to me because there's no belt, so the skirt is just this dress with leggings, and that just doesn't vibe with me. Positive potato. Spirit Rangers, those are original suits. Those are fun.
Yeah, because they're in Jungle Master Mode, which Jungle Master Mode is the better looking suits for the main trio.
Yeah, I did also put Jungle Master Mode. I do like the jetpacks. That's so fun. I also like how their sunglass morphers morph into their visors on the helmets. I know the morphers are controversial, but I like how they morph into the visors.
I'm a fan of them using sunglasses, but I wasn't a fan of them using sunglasses as a morpher. Use them as a communication device, or use them as part of the morph sequence, but don't make them the morpher themselves.
Kids love the sunglasses. I did as a kid.
I was 17 when Jungle Fury aired, so...
I was a baby! I was like 10 or something.
I was an old ass lady. I fucking hated them. I thought they were terrible design choices. I think in general, the American design teams don't really get the assignment as much as I would say the Japanese teams do. Because anything we try to improve on their designs, it kind of comes looking like ass because we don't come from the same place that they're doing the designs from.
When stuff is done right originally, it's usually with the help of the Japanese company.
Toei's helping out.
The Titanium Ranger was them helping out.
And it looked great. Then look at the Battle Thong. That was us not getting any help.
But they did use that in Sentai, though.
They did, but that's just because it's ridiculous. They figure might as well. We designed that on our own, and we objectively know that that is a bad design. And if you don't think that, you need to go sit down in a corner and think about your life and your life choices for a little while.
I hope Hasbro does a good job with whatever they plan on doing with the movie, because track record shows. I mean, they're good at designing original villains and characters.
Back to me. Suit spotlight for worst. I put blue because, first of all, I hate Theo, but also, how does he grow like 3 extra feet when he morphs? This ain't Turbo, bitch.
It's called the Takagi twin that played it was really tall.
Maybe don't cast the smallest character to play the tallest character.
Does the suit design reflect the theme? Yes.
Alrighty, Amber, what is your worst suit for number 5?
My number 5 worst suit is Lost Galaxy.
Really?
Here we go. This is why. This is going to start the trend.
You love Gangaman, though.
I do. Here's the trend. The trend here is a theme, and you'll see this through my list. While I don't mind a white ranger, I fucking hate when suits have large pieces of white on them. I hate it. I don't like the way it looks. This is probably still the best usage of more than just like an accent of white, but it's still fucking terrible. The positive potato is I love the suit. I love the helmets. I like the black line in the middle, even though it does make them kind of look a little bit like Charlie Brown.
Haven't heard that before.
But you know what I'm saying, though. It's got a lot of white on it, and you'll see in some of my other choices, I just don't like a lot of white on the suits. A white ranger is fine, because they're supposed to.
I get what you're saying, because my next choice is very much that.
And you'll see, too. It's just, I don't like that. The suits still look fine. They're still cohesive. It's just, I really don't care for that. Magna Defender looks great. I love the shape of the helmet. That's really fun, but it's because it's got a lot of white on it. I really fucking hate white on suits. I really do. God.
I could tell.
All right, that's all I got.
Alrighty, so on to my number 4 pick, which is the Mega Force Ranger suits.
It's Morphin time! Go, go, Mega Force!
So adding on what Amber said, the designer of these suits for some reason decided it was a good idea to make a majority of the suit white, which was a mistake because it really doesn't work for me.
What is that crop top about?
Maybe it's because they were supposed to be angels.
That's what I have in my notes. I said maybe it did when the suits were angels in Ghost Ager, but Megaforce decided to ignore that fact like they did for Super Megaforce. So you have angel themes and pirate themes, and you decide to go for neither of them and ignore them completely. Also, I feel like I'm betraying my gay roots, but I don't like the crop top vibes of the chests.
I don't think it's really a crop top. It's more like a vest.
They're a vest, but I mean, I gotta say crop top because Pride Month, we gotta represent our crop tops.
I mean, if we're gonna reference crop tops, we gotta reference the king that invented crop tops, and that's Winnie the Pooh.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I'm a stan. What can I say?
This suit has enough fucking white on it. You don't need to be adding it to the top of the chest too, so adding the little vest crop top was not really my vibe. Also, speaking of the chest, they never explained the symbols on their chest. Red and pink, black and yellow, and blue have different symbols based on their tribes, but there's no tribes here, so it doesn't work here.
It misses the assignment. Womp womp. But this whole season's a mess.
Gosei could have said something about them using their powers from a certain tribe or element, but he doesn't even say that. He just ignores the fact that the red and pink one has wind powers, the yellow and black one has earth powers, and the blue one has water powers. Just ignore everything. Just be Mighty Morphin. Just throw shit at them.
I'm even gonna be spicy about Ghost Ager, and I think Ghost Ager was a real mess too. It was a messy concept, but again, not every season can be a winner.
And lastly, not a fan of the Gosei symbol in the middle of the helmet. It looks like a forehead tattoo. That's my positive potato. I guess I like that the color reflects the original Mighty Morphin color since it's the 20th
That's
season.
why they did that.
Yeah, that's probably why they didn't just skip it and go to Ghost Hydra. Alright, on to Suit Spotlight Robo Knight. Because Robo Knight isn't the worst suit in Megaforce per se, but I feel like the design minus the helmet doesn't really match the mess of the regular Megaforce Ranger suits.
I mean, yeah, true.
It doesn't really feel like a ranger to me though.
But he's supposed to be the 6th Ranger, but he feels more like a robotic ally. But he's referred to as the 6th Ranger. And lastly, does the suit design reflect the themes? Hell no. Never acknowledged the angel theming. Alrighty, Austin, what is your number 4 pick for worst?
My number 4 pick is Overdrive.
Ready! Ready! Overdrive! Accelerate!
Mary. And we're talking about too much white. There is too much white on these suits. They look like poop. There is like 30% actual color and like 70% white. Not only just the ratio of color to white is off, the lines are horizontal and white is in the center and the color on the side. No!
It's not even symmetrical.
To be spoilery, these are ranking way lower than I have these ranked in my terms of least favorite. You guys are just doing all my bitching before I get to it.
I do kind of like the helmets. The headlights are cool. The griller mouthpieces are cool because I feel like it leans more into the car theme than Turbo did. I do like the silver shoulder pads. The white is a boner killer. Suit Spotlight for worst, Mercury Ranger. Mary Silver and Orange. You wanna talk about the white being a boner killer? Mary the orange, soft in like a second. And they did that again for Kira Major. Gross. Disgusting.
I would argue it's a little bit different because I think Kira Major used a brighter shade of orange.
But don't mix silver with orange. Who thought that was a good idea?
No. Silver and aqua looks nice. Also, I'm a hater. I don't like orange. Sorry, Orange Ranger. But I'm used to yellow. But orange,
She doesn't like citrus.
she doesn't. Suit design reflecting the theme. Yeah, sure.
Alright, Amber, what's your number 4 choice for worst suit?
Lightspeed Rescue.
Ready? Right! Lightspeed! Rescue!
I'm that Trixie Mattel gif where she stands up and just walks away.
So here's my reason. I think they're boring. I think the suits are fucking boring. They do nothing for me. Again, they have a lot of white on them. There's nothing to do anything with the white. They're just white stripe.
It's a spiral.
I know what it's supposed to look like, Austin Michelle.
It's a minty chest.
They're boring. I've got to give them negative points for being boring because, they're in between better seasons with better designs. I mean, look at Time Force. Time Force looks great and is really simple. You can be simple and be great, but you can also be simple and just be a yawn fest. And that's what this is to me. The helmets do nothing. I understand their shield. It absolutely fits the theme. They don't do very much for me. They're not exciting. This is also very indicative of the time that I stopped watching Power Rangers as a youngster. I stopped about this season because I was bored.
How? Yeah.
Austin, were you a really interesting 13, 14-year-old?
What do you mean, was I an interesting
Because
teenager?
I wasn't an interesting teenager, so of course I would hate things because I'm being edgy.
Actually, I was an interesting teenager. I was obsessed with Twilight.
Inkly. Still are. Some things never change.
It's just boring. At this point, the ones I really dislike, I absolutely dislike, but this is just kind of mid-ground. It's like, I probably could have put them as my number 5, but I like Lost Galaxies this season a bit better, which is the only reason. I think they're coordinated. They match. There's nothing that really makes me mad about it, other than the fact that I just want to fall asleep. My spotlight that I think is the best of the suits, when I was writing mine, I was thinking for positives, is Titanium. I think that's the nicest looking suit because none of them look bad. So I'll go for the nicest. Except for the fact when they forgot like part of the helmet.
Legendary battle. Ugh.
And this season, none is particularly bad, so we'll go for the best just to point something out nice because we haven't talked about them anyway. So
I like the visor, how it flips up. That's cool.
Love.
sometimes when you're not bad, being boring is just as bad as being bad.
Alrighty, so on to my number 3 pick, which is the Overdrive Ranger suits.
You guys are ranking these way too low on your list.
Alright, so the suits from Overdrive feel like those shitty bootlegs you find at the 99-cent store.
Ooh, sis, that's tea. That's piping hot. I burnt my tongue on that. Ow.
But yeah, the helmets are fugly. They're trying to be like Turbo by having the veal gold as representation, but I don't like it here. It just seems too samey. Also, I'm not a fan of the logo in the middle here. It seems like Hartford just slapped his company logo on the chest to get clout for his company saving people from evildoers. It's like, this world-saving adventure was brought to you by Hartford Industries, by some J-Borgs. And lastly, like Austin said, the white in the middle bothers me, especially with the logo in the middle. Having the logo in the middle with a bar of white with the color to the left and right just flares up my OCD.
I'm gonna turn you guys into people who hate more than just a little bit of white on suits.
And it looks fucking terrible on the skirt too. It looks like they sat on a white bench that was just painted and they just have a white stripe on their skirt. Alright, so positive potato. I guess I like the metallic shoulder pads, wristbands, and boot bands. Suit spotlight is the Mercury Ranger, because it is garbage. I fucking hate that orange stripe in the dark blue fucking shoulder pads. I do like the black lining on here compared to the white though, so that's an improvement. Does the suit design reflect the theme? Kind of. Vehicles, I guess, work for world traveling and relic hunting. Alrighty, so Austin, what's your number 3 worst suit?
My number 3 worst suit is the 2017 movie. These don't feel like Power Rangers to me. It's all armor, not even spandex, first of all.
They just look like aliens.
Exactly. They leaned too much into their alien theme that they don't even feel like Power Rangers. Yeah, not spandex. They all look way too similar. There's like no actual distinctions between them besides color. There's hardly any connections to the Zords.
But even the Zords didn't look like the dinosaurs either.
Mastodon Spider. Fuck
We're
off.
just gonna get really spicy. We still like this movie, but also we hated a lot of stuff about this movie.
The designs are garbage.
The designs are trash, except for Rita.
It really needed to go back to the writer's room and then also have a Sonic the Hedgehog redo.
Positive potatoes. I do like how the visors retract fluidly, because I feel like that's what the Mighty Morphin movie was trying to do in the 90s, but did not succeed.
Because they wanted to show their faces while they were morphed for some reason.
This movie did it right to where, like, the visor actually retracts. The 95 movie just punched out the visor and the mouthpiece. But on that same note, once the visors retract, we never actually see the helmets again. Not that they're good designs.
You'd think I'd want to see Power Rangers in a Power Rangers movie.
To be fair, we only saw those suits for probably the last 15-20 minutes anyway.
Not even. We have a 2-minute fight scene and that is it.
All footage that was in the trailers. Suit spotlight for worst, yellow, because literally what is going on there? That is the most generic Ranger suit in the history of Power Rangers.
It's hard for yellows to stand out because yellow is such a bright color unless you either take it down to like a dandelion color, which is a little bit darker, or you put some other colors in there. And I think they tried to stick some more blue in there, but it doesn't work.
I think the color is fine. It's just the suit. It's just the helmet is so plain.
The helmet needed fangs.
I just think it looks a little bit better with the pink one, but the yellow one, there was not enough to cover up any errors.
Does the suit design reflect the theme? No, because the theme is just Breakfast Club, but the theme they were going for was alien tech, so kind of.
Yeah, it's like squint your eyes.
You squint your eyes, take off my glasses, sure. I still hate it.
Alright, Amber, what is your number 3 choice for worst?
Ninja Steel.
It's Morphin time! Power Stars! Lock in! Ready! Ninja spin!
The reason why is literally because the Pink Ranger. It's not because I fucking hate Sarah. I just hate what they did. Again, a White Ranger is totally fine. But then Pink's legs are fucking white. It looks terrible to me. I fucking hate either make both their legs black or make Pink's legs pink. Because the boys are all the whole color throughout this thing. And so when you have white and that accent color is white, okay, then you're thinking they just have that black band where it separates the skirt and the quote unquote tight kind of. Well, in Pink, you do the same thing and then it just looks bad.
I don't get why they didn't just make both of them black.
That would have looked so much better. Or even just have Pink have that top part be pink and then I think they all had white shoes. So that's fine too. I think the white shoes are bad. That would have been fine with me.
Yeah, that's the problem you have when you have both a female pink and a female white in a season. I think this is the first season to have a pink and a white as females.
Usually they'll either have pink or white.
Yeah, it's usually one or the other. This one, it just had both.
What's worse too, because the pink suit has the white accents, right? And then it's vice versa for the white suit. Should have Pink's legs been white, but then the White Ranger's legs be pink?
Oh, absolutely not. The White Ranger's legs either could stay white or go black. No pink legs for her.
I think maybe all black for both of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I think black would have been the best, but I would have also accepted for Pink to be all pink because then it would have fit with the guys who have all single color legs.
That's true.
Otherwise, the suits are fine. I don't hate the suits. It's really just that one Ranger suit is fucking terrible.
This is a terrible season in both Sentai and Power Rangers.
It's a terrible season, but the suits were kind of coolly designed. They look like ninjas, flashy ninjas, because that's what they're supposed to be. Yeah, that was my positive. It's really just they're pretty clean. If I picked a suit that I liked, it'd be gold, obviously, because I like the gold.
He's a cowboy. Yeehaw.
But totally fit with his Zord both ways. Very went cowboy with it. We should have got the Burger Morpher as more than just a phone in one scene, but that's just me. But really, it's the crime of the leg. That's really unforgivable, other than the fact that Sarah was a really terrible Ranger.
Alrighty, on to my number 2, which are the Dark Rangers.
Behold, my Rangers, the Dark Rangers!
Yes, we've added evil Rangers into the mix. Alright, so the Dark Rangers. The Dark Rangers as a concept was really cool and would have easily been a big story arc for season 2, but these suits and Rangers honestly just felt like an afterthought. For one, the designs are straight up just repainted Z-Putties suits, colored with different colors, with cutouts for the eyes and mouths, black boots, and a giant Z on the chest instead of a small circle Z, so they're literally Z-Putties.
They look like I just walked into a really low-rent sex club. They're just missing ball gags, really.
They should have used the Die Ranger suits, honestly. That way they could have actually filmed a fight scene between the two teams instead of having them just stand around doing nothing. And actually have the Die Ranger suits actually be something that they use in the show. All they had to do was repaint those little vests they have from white to black, and that would have been really cool. And the little circle thing with the stars, I could just put a Z there. There you go. But they probably didn't even have a fight because these suits are made of such shit material that they actually might fall apart if they were actually used in a fight. So that's probably why they just stand around and hand gesture. Positive potato for these suits. The Boom Studios team did a pretty good job at adapting the Dark Rangers for the comics because they actually look pretty cool by having them become Rita, Finster, Goldar, Swamp Babu. Suit spotlight, purple Dark Ranger. Not sure why there's a purple Dark Ranger here instead of a black one. Choices. And does the suit designs reflect the theme? Yes, if garbage is the theme. If the theme for these suits is garbage, they succeeded. Alrighty, Austin, what is your number 2 worst design?
My number 2 worst design are the Power Rangers live suits from the upcoming live show.
I want to stop crying. You're making me cry.
Everything about these suits is awful. I get that they're trying to make these suits to be flexible for a stage show and on a budget, but sis, what is with those stupid-ass lightning legging pajamas on the Beast Morpher suits?
They look comfortable.
I mean, maybe they should sell that in the tour merch, but what's with the paper mache helmet?
I guess so they could see through them?
What's with Beast Morpher's yellow skirt being like sandbags tied to her waist? Positive potato, I won't have to see these monstrosities in person because I'm not going to a show.
We'll review it if it comes out on DVD or streaming or whatever.
Or if we all fly into the same city to watch it. Suit spotlight, they're actually all equally terrible, so yeah. Does the suit design reflect the theme? Sure, because it's a stage show, it's probably going to be bad. The original stage show wasn't good, so
yeah. Oof.
I don't know how we got through that.
I'm still recovering from that. Alright, Amber, what's your number 2 pick for worst design?
Operation Overdrive. It's the white on the suits. I fucking can't. I get irrationally angry when I look at it. I don't have any positive potatoes. They're kind of a mess. The logos don't go with the suits. I just don't really like it. This is going to be surprising to you. The only one I can even tolerate is Mercury, just because it's a big fucking meme. Because it's so bad, it's rolled back to being kind of good to me.
I hate the orange though.
No, it's terrible.
I'm glad it's called Mercury Ranger because I don't want to associate it with silver.
It's just because it's so bad that it's just kind of come back to being kind of good, but it's still very bad. Like, let's not beat around the bush. It's still very bad. There's nothing redeemable about this season for me in the slightest. I fucking hate everything about it. We've talked about a lot of it at length. It's the white on the suits. The helmets are fugly. The logos don't match because they're red and the blue. That's just a terrible thing to do for the middle of the suit. It's just ill designed. I just hate it.
Alrighty, so on to my number one worst. What can it be? What can it be? My number one worst suit design is A Squad!
A Squad! Let's do this.
Do you know what's lazier than repainting Z-Putty patroller suits and cutting out an eyes and mouth? Slapping the Space Ranger helmets on a freaking motocross suit and arming them with paintball guns. These designs scream lazy considering that they all look identical minus the helmet. Literally all of them are just black. I know SPD wanted an A Squad and the budget for the show isn't big enough to warrant making all original suits, but they could have done something to make each suit not look exactly the fucking same. I guess Hasbro thought these designs are cool enough considering they gave us a Lightning Collection figure for every single Ranger. Thanks! That's what we want.
I'm still waiting for Jen!
The benefit of having those is that means I don't have to buy them, and then I can spend money on other things.
I guess.
I do have a lot of manga to buy, and the Metallic Rangers are coming later this year.
Positive potatoes, I guess. If I have to say anything positive about these suits, I guess using the Space Rangers helmets is taste. The helmets kind of match the aesthetic of SPD, so I can see why they were used. But at the same time, there's no explanation as to why these helmets look like the Space Rangers, which is kind of frustrating.
But also, it's very insulting to the Space Rangers, because that season was actually good.
Suit Spotlight, the green one, because it was just repainted from a black Space Ranger suit helmet, so whatever. Does the suit reflect the theme? Yes, perfect for a game of paintball. Alrighty, Austin, what is your number one worst design?
My number one worst is the Dark Rangers. What the fuck kind of Party City shit is this?
Shit, Party City won't even fucking sell these suits.
That's more like Halloween Express.
Whoever's in charge in costumes, I hope they were fucking fired, because they made these and Saban was like, oh, those are good, put them in the show.
Like I said, you could have done something cool with the Dark Ranger concept, but you do this?
Positive Potato, they're only in one episode. Suit Spotlight, they are literally all the same level of trash. Does the suit design reflect the theme? Ray already made the same joke, so...
Yes, if garbage is the theme. Alrighty, Amber, what is your number one worst suit design?
It's Megaforce, because I really, really hate the white, and it's only higher than Overdrive because of how much white it has on it. It's so much white. I hate it.
What is that about?
I don't know. The only thing that's any good about the suits is the design on the side of the helmet. I think that is such a cool thing. I don't like the weird symbol in the front, but obviously in Ghost Ager it made sense because, you know, it was the three logos of the Angel tribe. That made sense. But the side of the helmets are just so fucking cool, and it's just like everything else is garbage. How about you keep that one thing and scrap the whole thing and start over, and we would have had a better suit.
Or just skip this and use Gokaiger from the beginning.
My positive potato, I don't even have a single suit highlight. I hated Robo Knight because that's not even a Ranger. Literally just this one part of the helmet is the only good thing about this whole thing.
Alrighty, so that is the end of our suit design ranking. So what did you think of our ranking? Did our top 5 best and worst suit designs match yours? Tweet us at the Grid PR to tell us your best and worst suit designs. We'll see you next week for a brand new episode of The Grid, but until then, everybody say bye!
Bye!
Bye.
This has been a Morphin Legacy production, bitches!